think it's not. The Spier Mackay copy Drake's, but have more basics. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Ooh,
I
shots
think
fired.
okay, so oh man, we need to have like a whole Spier Mackay stream at some point because and get all this on here because Spier Mackay is weird.
Yeah.
Like
What do you
obviously
mean?
the construction and stuff is pretty good for what the price is. It's it's affordable, it's good. The design is good. Um but like their positioning is weird because they are literally like the men's warehouse of where they are, like in
Like Toronto.
In Toronto or whatever.
They're like not thought of as like a cool store
They're not.
thing.
Yeah, they're not even like they're not even like a what do you call it? Like a suit supply.
Yeah.
They're not even like that. They're like
Although, like, didn't all this say like they're made at the same factory? Which, if it's the factory I think of, it kind of makes sense because, like, they do custom at that factory as well as like.
Fuck me, man.
They're
This
just,
guy's
like,
still at
ready to wear?
half health, and I've just been blasting him with bombs.
But they like you have to have like crazy minimums to work with them, which it makes sense if you have a men's warehouse scale of stores, or at least a lot of scale. You could work with a factory like that to do that kind of pricing, that kind of volume that they have. So I'm like amazed at what they sell their stuff for, price wise.
Yeah.
yeah. Spier Mackay is great. I mean, I'm sure that their social media manager, when marketing whatever, has probably a good say. They're obviously tapped into the what's popular, right? The Drakes, whenever they do cord suits, it's obviously there. But the thing is, you can tell how old they are by looking at the ties. The ties are awful, and
Yeah.
and you look at it, it's just proof that it's like they have a really good idea of like what's trending in term or like the Neapolitan cut, like the made to order and like the DB suits and having high waisted trouser, but there's still that kind of thing holding in the back where they're like a regular place. And outerwear is bad. I haven't tried outerwear. I mean, I haven't. I think the shirts aren't that great, to be honest with you. I think that the collars are just not where it's at. And Spencer had like some chinos from them.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. It's
endorsement.
Yeah.
Because it's like for the longest time, yeah, it's like I was just looking like, oh, I want Ivy style chinos, and they are great for the price they're at. They have a decent enough rise. They're not too slim, but they're just they're not for me. I now at this point want something more interesting. If you're just looking for like a basic pair of like Ivy style, decent rise, decent width chinos, then Spier Mackay is a great option, and I still recommend him. But I want something more interesting.
Yeah.
So they have kind of like these Ivy flavors, but they still have to be mainstream for their main clientele.
That's exactly it. Cause I wouldn't say it's like just straight. I think they're just kind of tapped in on what the what Menswear wants, But and what Menswear wants is kind of like this. They like Drakes, so.
I mean, I feel like if they're big enough, they're doing a little bit of trend forecasting and all that stuff.
Oh, of course.
And they're gonna want to get when you're at that scale, like you do want search traffic to your website, so like they're probably tracking like everyone else, like what search terms are trending, et cetera, and they're like, oh, okay, like we can create this, and they have the scale and the speed to bring a product to market pretty quickly. I'm guessing. Especially if they're working with the same factory.
Yeah, D2C. I'm not sure exactly. I don't think that I don't think that they are their own factory. I think that they. What exactly is the answer for like D2C? Because, like Thursday Boot.
I mean,
like that's supposedly D2C, right?
I think so.
But what's working with
I think it should
maker?
Be, I mean, the most ideal D2C would be like the factory themselves, then sells directly to like the
Yeah, I guess the
consumer.
answer is like they're exclusive, right? There is no like, I mean,
Yeah, but I think that's not the case for like even Everlane, which is like considered D2C. Like they
Right.
clearly don't own any of their factories. At least I don't think they did. So like they're just making things and not as a brand, then taking that, marking it up at wholesale to be wholesaled to someone else. You know, like they're acting as a brand would, except they're not going to be in department stores or third parties. They're just they themselves doing everything and selling at the wholesale price, basically, or
yeah.
close to it. But I guess that's like considered D2C. Um, so I think a more true D2C would be like Harry's Razors or like Warby Parker, where they actually own the means of production.
Mhm.
And they're actually, saying we will just, sell what we make. We have our own design
Uh,
team and our marketing team.
would true DC mean complete vertical integration? I think so. I think that that technically is the term for D2C because it's supposed to be like direct again, owning the
Yeah.
verticals completely is where it would be. Um,
That's where it
and
would be
like
most efficient.
yeah, and like you said, like I think that like the ideal also would be the reason why it works for this is because it's like you can't really go to some other store and buy the same Spier Mackay model, right? They're not wholesaling to anybody else. They're not, they're exclusive. So that kind of ties in with that. But anyway, to go back to it, Scoops, what you're saying, um, about it's fine, it's the best you can get. I like Spier Mackay. I think it's perfectly like fine might be a weird word. Obviously, Ben's like you want what's great, but I think it's I don't I mean, if I had more money, I wouldn't shop there because I would just go straight to custom, right? I don't think I would spend if I had the means, I would not just
But yeah, but that could be said for a lot of brands.
exactly. So in terms of Spear and McKay, I think they're good. I think the
Yeah.
cut is great. The fits flatter everybody. I haven't tried much in the trousers, but everything I like from them, everything I have from them, I like.
I'm at some point I am going to pick up
Like a
Spier
jacket.
Mackay, yeah, jacket because I think their jackets look great. I like them a lot better than Suit Supply or
Oh yeah, yeah, and when that's your main competition,
uh-huh.
or what you're deliberating
It's
on,
exactly because I mean it's like that yeah, it's like roughly the same price point.
yeah, I think the only downside is I don't like like the concave belly and the really not like their notch treatment. Um, as I've talked to with Philip Gregard in our Discord about how much I obsess about lapels. But other than that, like that's just me like wanting a 30s ideal, right? But in terms of like regular, like they're fine, they're good, and
Mhm.
they are wearable. They are wide enough. They look classic menswear, but also modern enough for people to not look at you like you're a fucking dandy or whatever, you know.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I think more people should start there. I don't really review them because I just wear them too much. I don't really need to have its own dedicated thing, and the fact that I'm looking at now, the fact that I've been saving up to buy like a ring jacket on sale, by the way, there's no way I would have bought my stuff without them going on heavy discount. But like after that fact, it's like okay, well, I kind of don't really need to do too much Spear McKay. But if that's what's in your price point, and yeah, doing custom, probably a good move because I've heard that you can change the notch. I've heard that you can do some things. Algis has some of his stuff. He barely bought ready to wear. Like a lot of his stuff was made custom through them, which is weird. I don't know if you guys knew that, but Algis.
Welcome Far Eastern.
Hey, it's been a while, my friend.
Joining
Yeah,
near the end, unfortunately.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, Algis is, even though he buys a lot of sack jackets now. When we first talked to him, all of his tailoring was custom to Spear McKay. And I think it looked great on him. And if you guys can do it, I think you should. And made to order is not bad. I mean, I think they're all made to order. I think with like they're made to order with certain details, and you can like change like the length or like the sleeve length, which is probably what I need because I'm a pretty straightforward size 38 regular from them. Um, but yeah, try it out. Spear McKay is cool. Uh, They're not a sponsor, but I wear them.
Mhm.
So if that's what you need,
Might as
then
well
that's
be.
what you need. Yeah,
Sponsors Spin Cookies.
yeah. Give us
Sponsor me, Spear.
give us a
Spear,
free
I need
feed.
your money.
Yeah.